Massive uncertainty spooking the public, and the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 have been falling over the past few days, rejecting from some key support resistance flip levels. Let's dive into the charts and see what's going on. Is there going to be a massive crash here in 2025, or is there a relief bounce coming for continuation to the upside? My name's Matt. This is Boys Crypto. Let's dive into the charts. We got the S&P 500 here pulled up on the daily, losing a key level to 200 SMA. This red line right here, we fell beneath and rejected perfectly from that 200 SMA. Let's zoom on out here and see what happens on the macro when we lose the 200 SMA. We did break below this back in October of 2023, and we did get above, rallying massively to the upside. But zooming on back, that daily 200 SMA, once we cracked it and fell below and stayed below, that led into the bear market of 2022. Zooming on back, COVID, we cracked the 200 MA, failed to get back above it. The bear market, COVID bear market, baby, was a V-shaped recovery due to massive money printing by the Federal Reserve back here. 2008, we lost the 200 MA and we retested it, baby. We retested that thing and down to the depths with the 2008 financial crisis. If that wasn't enough for you back here, this is the dot-com bust. This is the dot-com bust, baby. This 200 MA, once we fell beneath, does this not look like where we are right now? We fell beneath the daily 200 SMA, retested it, and the dot-com bubble popped, baby, popped, leading to a massive decline in stocks and commodities of all types, a 50% correction back here in 2021. That was a massive bust for the stock market. Zooming on out, we can see when we are above this line, good. Below this line, bad, very bad, and we got above this line. And now, ever since COVID, we had the COVID crash back here. The S&P 500 is almost twice in value what it was back during the COVID times, baby, So losing this red line, bad for the S&P 500. Now we also have daily bearish divergence here, swinging up on price action while we have a swing down on the RSI, stating that we're going to break this low before we broke this high, and we did, continuing to the downside. This support resistance flip getting respected was support, now resistance to the downside, to the depths with the S&P 500. It is imperative that the S&P reclaims its 200 MA here on the daily to remain bullish to the upside for the S&P. With macroeconomic indicators, uncertainty in the markets, the tariffs that are starting just tomorrow can lead to a macroeconomic correction in the markets as prices struggle, as inflation or stagflation rears its ugly head in these macroeconomic times. With the NASDAQ pulled up on the daily, showing the same signs of the S&P 500, losing that daily 200 MA, retesting and getting rejected. Not looking good here for the NASDAQ, as Paul Tudor Jones says, famous investor, baby, he says nothing good happens underneath the daily 200 SMA, which is represented by this red line here on the charts. Zooming on out here, we can see that just like the S&P 500, once we lost it and retested it back here in 2022, it led to the bear market, a following 27% correction for the stock market. Zooming on out, we can see the COVID crash. Now, what was different about the COVID crash here? Oh yes, we printed a massive amount of money and injected it into the system by Federal Chairman Jerome Powell to prop up the economy, and we had a rocket shot. The economy, the NASDAQ, is valued 3 times greater now than it was during COVID, which was just 6 years ago. This run is not sustainable. This parabola is not sustainable for the S&P 500. If you're under the age of 35 and you put money in the market at any point in your life and you've held it beside minus 2008, baby, and that's what I'm referring to, under the age of 35. No one's ever lost money in this market if you just bought and held. And here we are in 2008. We've never seen a true correction like this back in 2008 where people lost everything, baby. We are super overextended here on the NASDAQ, falling beneath that daily 200 SMA, which is telling me that there is macro weakness and uncertainty in the market. And it's crazy to see what gold's doing, baby. Gold gold, going on over to gold, you can measure uncertainty by gold here going on a rampage. Nobody in the world is certain about the economy right now, so they're going to run to safe haven assets like gold here on a massive move to the upside just over the past 4 days. Gold running 4% up at over $3,100 now. It doesn't seem like anything can stop this asset right here. We are forming a little bit of bearish divergence here on the daily if the RSI cannot push up a little further here. But yes, the gold is on a moonshot, signaling that there is massive uncertainty in the markets. People are going to want to be in assets that they could hold, they could keep safe, like silver, like this. They don't want to be in risk on assets like gold and crypto, and that's where the money is flowing right now, as we have no idea how these tariffs are going to impact the United States and the broader economy around the world. Thank you everyone for joining me as we look at the macroeconomics of the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. There are massive warning signs screaming at us in the chart that 200 MA has been a great indicator whether we are going to move up further here in the near term or crash to the depths. Watch your money, watch your investments, everyone. Nothing in this video is financial advice, just my ideas on the market. Come on and join me on our live streams every single night at 9:30 p.m. Central Time, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, baby, while we break down the crypto markets and the stock markets nightly. Thank you for being here. I will see you tonight on the live. Until then, boys, crypto is out.